Brady the GOAT, right?
Yeah. It's a changing of the time.
Ah, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see how he holds up against the 43-year-old GOAT.
Oh, okay. Well, we want to talk about Tom Brady. That's a given. I know we'll get to that, but there was some pretty big news over the weekend concerning two specific quarterbacks. And according to multiple reports, the Rams and Lions made a blockbuster trade over the weekend. Matthew Stafford will be heading to L.A. in exchange for Jared Goff, 2 first-round draft picks, and a 3rd-round draft pick. And after the news, the Rams jumped from the 9th to the 6th best odds to win next year's Super Bowl, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. So, Shannon, please give the Rams a letter grade for this trade.
Skip, before I give it a letter grade, Stafford is a substantial upgrade over Jared Goff. But it was a steep price to pay. And, Skip, I talked to a man one time that had a lot of money, and he was getting a divorce. And he looked at me dead in my eye. He said, son, there's not a price too steep to pay to get out of a relationship in which you're unhappy. This goes to show you just how unhappy the Rams were with Jared Goff. Skip, they're willing to take the highest dead cap hit in NFL history, $22 million. They were willing to give up 2 first-rounders. Now they go 7 years without a first-round draft pick. They were willing to do that after they just gave a guy $134 million. And we talked about this last week, Skip. It's one thing when the head coach says, you know, offensively, we need to do some things better. Defensively, we need to do some things better. When the head coach says, we need to get better play out of the quarterback after you've given him $134 million a year and a half ago, the writing's on the wall. Les Snead said, you know, they said, well, that's a big, you know, lot of dead money cap hit. Les Snead said the cap can be worked.
Okay. So you're giving it a letter grade of what?
I'm going to give him a letter grade of a C. And let me tell you why I gave it a C, Skip. Matthew Stafford is about to be 33 years of age, and he has an injury history. Remember, now, 2018, he missed half the season. He had this year, he had thumb, rib, cartilage damage. In 2019, fractured bone in his back. 2016, dislocated finger. 2011, broken finger. 2010, separated shoulder. Dislocated patella tendon in his knee. Also in 2009. Oh, yeah, by the way, Skip, how many playoff games has he won? Now, Jared Goff did take a team to the Super Bowl. Now, you can say what he wants. You can say, well, that was defense-led and Todd Gurley had a historic year running the football. But that did happen on his watch. But here's what this is one of the main reasons, Skip, I ended up getting him a C. In the regular season, people, listen to this. Matthew Stafford is 10-59 in his career versus teams that have made the playoffs. That is the worst of any quarterback in at least 40 starts versus playoff teams all time. They make it seem like they just traded for Patrick Mahomes. You want to think, Skip, I'm not saying Matthew Stafford isn't better than Jared Goff. I believe he is. But given his age, given his injury history, given what he hasn't accomplished, this is not a slam dunk like everybody is portraying it out to be. Does he have substantial arm strength better than Jared Goff? Yes. Do I believe in this offense you're going to see a different Matthew Stafford? Absolutely. But, Skip, given the injury history and what I haven't seen, I've seen him, what year was that? Skip, I want to say, was it 2011, 2012? You remember when against the Packers, he threw for like 521, was about to leave for the day. That's they sat Aaron Rodgers. Matt Flynn started. That was when Matt Flynn got. That was the big payday game. Matthew Stafford was dealing. I think he ended up having like 521. About to go ahead and lead him for the game. When he touchdown, had me at the edge of my seats. And what did he do? Throw a pick to end the game. He's had some great moments, but far too many have ended in, oh, damn, man, you left a lot to be desired. I gave it a C for the simple fact his injury history and what I haven't seen him do in the regular season.
How many games did Matt Stafford start last year for the Lions?
Started them all, I guess.
All 16?
Yeah.
So would you believe that despite all that litany, that long list of injuries that he has suffered through, that he's only missed those 8 games in 2018, the back half of 2018? Since 2011, those are the only 8 games he's missed because he had a serious injury at that point with his back, okay? So he had to shut it down for the back half of 2018. So for me, you are ignoring the advice of your good friend about the divorce, right? You're saying no to that. There is no, there is a price. There is a price point where you'd say, no, I'm not going to pay that to get out from under this unhappiness.
No, the Rams said the price isn't too steep because clearly they were unhappy.
Okay. My turn. I give this deal a grade of A+.
Wow.
A+. Matt Staffords don't come available in this league very often.
Why they come available?
Matt Staffords don't grow on Southern California trees, as I've told you before. Matt Stafford is a sleeping giant in Detroit, where obviously the Lions have played more like pussycats, and they've been mismanaged, and he's been through a lot. As many injuries as you listed, I can list head coaches in Detroit while Matt's been there, coordinators in Detroit while Matt was there, and obviously quarterback coaches while he was there. The turnover has been extraordinary. It's been excruciating. It's been painful for me to watch because I'm a fan of Matthew Stafford. I think he has superstar capability, and I believe he's going to have a career rebirth in Hollywood with the Rams at SoFi. Once upon a time, there was a great writer in this country named F. Scott Fitzgerald who wrote The Great Gatsby, and his point was there are no second acts in American life. I think this is going to be one of the great second acts, because if suddenly you replace Jared Goff with a guy that you think is better, I think is way better than Jared Goff, and you do give him Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, if they re-sign Josh Reynolds, Tyler Higbee, Cam Akers, I'm going to give that offensive line top 5 in the league. And that defense, you love that defense. You love Aaron Donald way more than I do, but it is a loaded defense.
Yeah, get Jalen Ramsey. They got
back to front. It is loaded, and obviously, in the secondary, they're strong in the secondary.
Yes.
It could be the best defense in pro football, certainly as it continues to come of age next year. You put that all together, and all of a sudden, you're not just back in business. You're challenging Brady's Bucks next year to be the best team in the NFC. I believe Brady's Bucks will be the favorites, the preseason favorites, to win the NFC next year. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, with a new defensive coordinator and a new special teams coach, will have something to say about that. But to me, all of a sudden, the Rams are right back in the thick of it, maybe as the second best team, maybe as the first best. I think they have a chance with Matthew Stafford teaming up with Sean McVay, the young offensive genius that he is, that all of a sudden you're going to see the best of Matthew Stafford, which we saw in glimpses, in dribs and drabs in Detroit.
He's one of 8 quarterbacks that has a 5,000-yard passing season on his resume.
Okay. So just to back this up, to sum this up, allow me to read a couple of quotes from 2 people that I have some respect for, just because they've been around the league so long. And the first one's Bruce Arians, obviously now coaching a Super Bowl team. But Bruce Arians, in his past, has coached Peyton Manning and coached Big Ben Roethlisberger and coached Andrew Luck and coached Carson Palmer. So he's been around. Now he's seen Tom Brady. And just the other day, he said this about Matthew Stafford. He's one of my all-time favorite guys. He's tough as nails. Like I said the other day, he's one of the few quarterbacks I like going out and watching warm up. Just watching him throw, because he's so special. I've always felt like he was one of the top 4 or 5 guys in this league for a long time. Like I said, he's as tough as nails, and his guys know it. They know he's going to suck it up for them. So I got that long list of injuries, but his teammates knew that mostly he just played through all of it.
But the injury history doesn't concern you?
It would if he just shut it down and watched a lot of games. But again, it's a tough game that he's playing. I think he'll have the best protection he's ever had next year. And maybe he'll stay a little healthier he's going to turn 33, as you say, in 6 days. Well, he's still 10 years younger than Tom Brady.
Right.
So, again, could you get, I don't know, 4 or 5 great years out? Yes, you could.
You could, Skip, but here's the thing. He's 10 years younger than Tom Brady. With Tom Brady doesn't have a third of the injuries that he has. I mean, outside of the knee, Tom Brady's basically been injury clean.
As far as we know, but maybe through his days with Belichick, maybe they just hid most of them.
Well, they did. And that's one of the reasons why they had to change the rule.
Okay.
Skip, but you listed all the Cooper Kupps and the Robert Woods. He did play with Megatron. He did play with Roy Williams, who went to the Pro Bowl twice. He did play with Golden Tate. He had Marvin Jones. He had Reggie Bush.
And those are reasons he had all those yards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's not make it seem like Matthew Stafford was devoid of talent when he was in Detroit. Because Megatron, he is never going to play with a receiver that's better than Megatron.
Nope, I'll buy that. But that's why he shot up to number 16 on the all-time passing list in yards.
Yes.
And I think he's 14th in completion.
Yes.
So he's on the rise, and he's got a long way to go. And if he stays on track.
This year, he had thumb, rib, cartilage damage. In 2019, fractured bone in his back. 2016, dislocated finger.